Before you start planning your wedding, ask yourself, is he really the one? I'm going to tell you some things that will show you signs if he is the one for you. Side note, I know a lot of you might be thinking, how will I know these things if, like, obviously I'm not in a relationship beforehand with the person, keeping it halal, but you can meet the person as long as you are with somebody else. So meet the person as much as you need. Don't rush into things. Meet them as many times as it takes to get to know them, to get to see them on their good days, their bad days. But again, like, always have that other person with you, and then it is halal. First one, and one of the most important, he strengthens your faith. So if he encourages you to pray, if he is guiding you spiritually on the right path, reminding you of your relationship with Allah and putting that relationship first, then that is a very good sign that he could be the one for you. You should remember, somebody who fears Allah, they will always treat you with respect because they have that respect for their Lord, so they will not be treating you in a way that Islam does not recommend. Next one, consistent actions, not just fake promises. So if there's certain things you want from your marriage, for example, maybe having your own house or certain things that you just expect, you should try and make sure that you can definitely guarantee this before you are married, just so you can avoid any problems. Next one, if things are going wrong, he's there empowering you, not getting angry with you or making you feel more stressed. He should be uplifting you and motivating you to come out of that bad place. Moving on nicely from that, you feel at peace with him. So whenever you're with him, you don't feel like angry, he's making you feel calm. There's just very peaceful vibes. The next one, and again one that's probably very, very important, is aligned values and goals. So your goals for the future are very similar. For example, how you want to raise your family, where you want to live, how you want to live your life once you are married together. Because if there's major things like this that you disagree upon, of course you can kind of come to like meet halfway in the middle, but there's big things that you can't really compromise on and he's not really budging. That kind of indicates that there might be a big issue if you do decide to get married. Okay, the last one, does he support and respect you with your decisions? And when you tell him something, he's not there like mocking you, he's there supporting you and being kind and lovely to you and treating you like the queen that you are. Yeah, these are just a few things. Of course, if you're looking for the one, like, I feel like your heart sometimes just knows, and like I said, you feel at peace with this person, you feel like you can be fully yourself, so always trust your gut feeling. But these are just some things that I feel like might help anyone that is in this situation. But yeah, I hope you guys found this helpful.
I don't know who needs to hear this, but I'm gonna say this anyway. To all my girlies that are looking to get married, listen to this, okay? If a man doesn't respect Allah, how can you expect him to respect Allah's creation? You. It's not going to happen. The number one thing you look for when you are looking to get married is this man a God-fearing man? And I don't mean in that toxic way of, you know how we see online, those toxic people, that's not the ones that twist deen and twist religion. No, I'm talking about a man who truly fears Allah, a man who prays on time, a man who wants to get better at his deen, a man who lowers his gaze, a man who knows his own hijab before he starts talking about your hijab. He knows what he needs to do and he works on that himself. That's a man who's going to respect you because he fears Allah and he respects Islam and he does not make a mockery out of it. He does not abuse it to his own advantage. He respects it. But a man who doesn't respect Islam, a man who doesn't fear Allah, how on earth can you expect him to respect you? Why would he respect you? If he doesn't even pray on time, why on earth would he respect you? Do you see what I mean? It doesn't make any sense. So that's the number one thing. I know some people were against that when I said it, but that is the number one thing for me. Anyway, that's the best advice that I can give.
How did I know that my husband was the one? There are a few things that gave it off for me. One, I was extremely comfortable with him. I didn't feel the need to show off or prove to him who I am and I have to impress him. I didn't feel any of that, and he wasn't doing it either. Like, he wasn't trying to purposely impress me. He wasn't trying to tell me what I wanted to hear. So he's extremely honest. I really like that. That was really important to me. Two, he would always try to teach me things, but not in a way that's condescending. It was very like honest, kind of like, I want to share with you the things that I love, the things that I do, the things like fishing, pew pew kind of a thing. And he would teach it to me in a way that was like very kind, very sweet. And he still is like that to this day. He was never condescending, and this is so important for me. So you know, if you're around Arab men, especially in the family, you know how condescending they can be, or they're very dismissive. He was never that way for me. So sometimes he'd hear something that I would say I have some story, and I would tell him, and he'd be like, oh, okay. Like, he would hear me through. He would not be judgmental. He would not be like, oh, well, it's your fault, or you need to do this, or you need, like, you know what I mean? He was never trying to be like a teacher, or like trying to be like, oh, you're stupid for doing this. It was never ever in a way that was condescending. So that was important to me, because I wanted to find somebody that treated me like I'm their equal, not that I'm lesser than. A third thing, when I told him the amount of meher, which usually the families do this, but we had a conversation about it because I was comfortable with him. He was not okay with giving me the amount that I asked, because it was not that much, I guess. In his eyes, it was not enough. So he was like, I'm not gonna do that. He's like, I'm gonna give you X amount. So it was more than what I had asked for. So I knew right away he was very generous. And he was also thoughtful. Of course, like, whenever we went anywhere, I would never pay for anything. You know, he knew that was his job. We talked about also responsibilities. So we talked about things from the get-go. Do you want to work? Do you want to contribute? And then, like, how we're going to raise our kids. Like, it was very important to him and to me that when we have kids, I stay at home. I told him that's a condition for me. I have to stay at home and I have to take care of my daughter. That's what I want. And he was on the same page. So we had a lot of things that were similar. Another thing is that he was never a show off. So he had this very humble 2014 Nissan Versa, and it was the cutest little almost broke down car, and I loved it. I loved it because he wasn't like, oh yeah, I got a BMW, I got a Mercedes, I got this, I got that. You know, trying to show off that he has money. In reality, he didn't have money. You know what I mean? Like, you know, there's a lot of people that are like that. They're like, oh yeah, I got a BMW, I got a Mercedes, I got this, I got that, but they don't really have anything. So my husband was not that type. He had a very humble car, and alhamdulillah, he was very smart with money. So he was like very conscious with money. He planned, he saved, he knew how to deal with money. He wasn't like careless with money. And that was important to me, because me, I'm a saver. I know how to save. I'm not a big spender. I don't really care to spend. And my husband's the same way. We'll spend on the things that we want to. Like, we're not like selfish. We're not cheap on ourselves, but we're not like, we're not mubadhirin. And mubadhirin, ashab al-shaytan, like people who like to spend money in like crazy abundance, they are the friends of the shaitan. Okay, so we had that same thing, and it was for me, what I really liked about him is that he was humble, and I'm the same way. Like, I'm not like, oh yeah, let's go to like this place so we could show off that we went to this like most expensive restaurant. I'm not like that. Me and my husband were very much like nature people. We're just like, okay, this is how much you got, this is how much I got, and that's how my husband was, you know. Alhamdulillah. Another thing is, like, when it comes to deen, you know, we were on the same path when it comes to deen. Alhamdulillah, we're both like trying, we're both striving, we both had the same moral compass, I guess. And then we just had a lot of the same interests. Like, me and him, we're not big on going out to like malls and like the city and like things like that. We're more like nature people. So we would go fishing together, we would do a lot of like these nature hikes and stuff like that together, and we loved it. So those are things. It's like I found a lot of things that were the same. My husband was also compassionate. There are things that I feel like a lot of people will be like, yeah, who cares? Like, who cares about this person? But he was like, no, haram, like, I feel bad for this person. Maybe we should help this person. You know, like, very humane. Another thing is he was attractive. He was attractive, and he was taller than me, and those are like the two hardest things, because I am 5'10". I am very tall. So you know how hard it is as an Arabi person to find somebody that's tall? It's really hard. So these were these were like the number one things. I think for me, it was like extreme comfort. It was almost like when I first saw him, I knew him right away. I knew him, and I just felt like I don't have butterflies. I don't like butterflies. My nervous system around him was very calm, and this is very important. Very, very calm. He's not narcissistic. He was not toxic. He was not like, oh my god, did you see that girl? She's so pretty. Oh my god, did you see Absarmin? Like, comparing. He never compared me to other women. He never compared me to his like friends, like wives or whatever. He never did any of these things. He never did anything that was intentionally toxic to get me to be jealous. And those were things that were really, really important to me. So that's how I knew that he was the one for me.